Hey folks, Alan at the HotRodHippie here, coming to you with some new custom car and truck parts from SEMA 2018. Some hot rod parts for you, let's check them out. So far I've really been heavily covering mostly tools from SEMA 2018 because that's what interests me a lot and what I was mostly looking for. But I was keeping my eyes open for custom hot rod parts, car parts, things for your restoration, your resto mod, or your hot rod vehicle. Plenty of them caught my eye. We're going to cover a few of them right here, right now. Check out what I thought of these. First up, we've got the folks at American Auto Wire. Now, personally, I really like American Auto Wire. I've mentioned them in some previous videos that I use them. They are my go-to wiring brand. Now, what they had on display that was new is they had a wiring kit for your 71 to 74 Mopar B-body cars. So you can go ahead and update the wiring on those vehicles, get it nice, up-to-date, working with your aftermarket AC, your aftermarket fuel injection, things like that. They also had on display a kit for your 83 to 87 square body GM pickup trucks. So if you're doing a restoration on one of those, if you just have one you've been keeping alive for all this time and you really need to clean up the wiring, it's been spliced too many times, this could be a great option for you to do it easily in a situation that's going to fit right to your vehicle. They also had a 67-68 Mustang kit that they updated. Minor changes to that kit, a better fuse box with a better mounting location on it. The biggest thing about all these kits that I noticed personally as somebody who uses them on a regular basis is they've upgraded the chargeback wire on the alternator. American Auto Wire kits used to come with a 10 gauge wire to charge from the alternator to the battery. Personally, I always found that to be insufficient. It was the one thing that I did not like about the American Auto Wire kits. This new kit that they have here now has a 6 gauge chargeback wire. So if you're using a higher amperage alternator than your original one for all those added aftermarket systems like your fuel injection, your AC, your stereo, now you'll be able to adequately power those up without an issue. I was really happy to see that. They did say that not all of the kits have that new wire yet, but they are rolling it in, so sooner or later all the kits will have that heavier gauge wire. You may want to call them if you're ordering a kit to see if that's in there. Maybe they can switch it out for you. Next up was a very interesting product that actually won a new product award from the folks at SEMA. This is what they're calling the V-Dog from Flaming River. It's a silly name, but the idea of it is a variable angle steering shaft setup. What this does is actually turn a 90-degree corner with your steering and then allow for up to a 35-degree smooth angle adjustment. So the idea here is if you're working on a street rod, instead of having to point your column way down and be interfering with your pedals or your feet, you can actually run it straight out of the firewall, shoot down, and then angle out toward your steering box, your steering rack, whatever it is you're steering with. The V-Dog is a fully gear-driven design, no chains, nothing like that, just gears meshing, made in the USA, high-quality components in this thing, and it is a 1-to-1 ratio, so it's not going to mess with your steering. You're not going to get added play, you're not going to get a lag in your steering or anything like that. This could really be handy for the cab-over craze that's going on right now. A lot of cab-overs are getting built lately, and steering on those can actually be really tricky on a custom suspension. This could really allow for a lot of different configurations for those vans, those cab-overs, those street rods that are in difficult scenarios when it comes to their steering situation. Next up is something I have to talk about, the Hellephant from Mopar. The Hellephant is, well, it's a crate engine that makes 1,000 horsepower. It's going to cost about $20,000 is the word on the street. It looks like just about any other supercharged crate engine from Mopar, so you're not getting any special look for that, at least not so far in the pre-production model. I'm going to go ahead and say the least hot rod thing I could possibly say right now, and that is I don't see the purpose of this motor. I don't know why anybody would want it. I have driven 750 horsepower cars on the street, and they were even supercharged Mopar cars, and honestly, they were no fun to drive. They were not fun. I think the sweet spot is between 450 up to about 650 horsepower. That range makes for a wildly powerful car on the street that is fun to drive and usable. If you're talking about the track, if you're talking about drag racing, we're talking different animals here. I'm talking about driving your car around town on a Friday night. 750 horsepower was too much in my experience. 1,000, okay, sure. If you want to wave it around and say that I've got it, there you go. Next up was some folks who are really nice, really cool, and they really had some neat products. They were called Quick Draw Brand. Now, Quick Draw Brand has adapter bell housings for your diesel applications. Diesel swaps are huge these days, whether you're talking about 2.8 Cummins, the 4BTs, the 6BTs, or the old Detroit diesels. They had bell housings to meet all of those situations. They were high quality, thick bell housings, strong bell housings to take that big torque, that big power from the motor to your transmission of choice. They had bell housings that went to your SM465 GM trans, your NV4500, your NV3550, your Jeep application. So if you're trying to swap into your Jeep with your existing transmission, if you're trying to build a custom vehicle with a high quality NV4500 transmission, they had bell housings to meet your application. Overall, the quality of these products was there. It definitely looked high quality. It looked like they really put the time in to make a quality product that would handle the power being put out by these engine combinations. Last but not least is something that I think is pretty darn interesting at the very least. It is the new electric crate motor from the folks at Chevy Performance. They're calling the setup they had on display the E-Copo Camaro. That one was making about 750 horsepower. That's a lot of power at your right foot, all from electric. It had twin Borg-Warner motors in it, putting out that power, and it's going to be a combo kit that's going to bolt up to a LS-style bell housing. So you can technically mount this up to your TH400 transmission, your 4L60 transmissions. So this could be a really interesting way to do an easy electric swap on a classic muscle car, hot rod. This could be a really strange and interesting future we have ahead of us. Personally, I welcome it. I'm really interested in building a full electric vehicle. Someday I'd like to get to that. At the moment, I don't have anybody coming and beating down my door wanting an electric swap. Everybody's talking LSs right now. So this could be an interesting future. We'll see what they do with this and where the price point is going to be. And that's it for this stuff that I have in this video from SEMA 2018. I do have at least one more product that I know needs its own dedicated video because it really blew me away. I will get to that in the very near future. Go ahead and drop this video a like if you found it interesting. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of these hot rod parts that I showed you? Is that electric motor tickling your fancy? Are those bell housing swaps so you can use those old diesels? I mean, how two different things can we really talk about here? Go ahead and let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this all the time. Thanks for coming around, folks.